We're going to talk about hybrid annuities today. We've had a lot of different subjects, and a lot of times, Eric, we touch on hybrid annuities. But let's talk about why they're so popular, and maybe before we actually get into that, let's talk about what they are.
Oh, sure, let's talk about it. I was ready to talk about why they're so popular. Now, what is a hybrid annuity? And that there is, people call up and we say, well, I've been talking to this guy about a hybrid annuity.
Right.
And then the first thing I do is say stop, because hybrid unfortunately has become a marketing term for a lot of individuals.
Yes, it is.
And so when we say what a hybrid annuity to us is the fixed indexed or fixed annuity, usually with an indexing component.
Right.
And then it has a rider typically that is for guarantees income for life.
And these are like the newer, more innovative
Yes.
income riders. And I know you run into this. I run into it. Folks will start describing a variable annuity to me, and they'll start saying it's a hybrid. They may have just confused it with a hybrid, or they may have been told it's a hybrid.
Well, in all fairness to the variable annuity, it was really the first one to have those riders that would give income for life. And so,
that is true.
So if you think of just that rider being the contextual piece that makes it
more of a hybrid. Yes,
right.
yes.
Well, in my mind, those pieces were always part of the variable.
Right.
They weren't part of the fixed.
Right.
And so the fixed has kind of morphed its way, to use a different term, I guess, into that.
How long's it been that fixed annuities? I mean, I'm going back. I would say that
I'm much too young to know.
No, I would say that it was about somewhere around 7 years ago that the riders on the fixed annuities really started to pick up steam. And like you say, on the variable annuities, they'd already been a kind of a mainstay of the variable annuity.
And I think what they saw was the variable annuity market had a lot of traction. People really appreciated guarantee income for life without having to give up their asset.
Right,
and that's
without annuitizing.
Right, annuitizing. And that's where we always talk about the immediate annuities.
Yes.
That's what the component they have. You can get income for life, but you have to give up your asset.
Right.
So why people are attracted and what makes hybrid annuities so popular is that aspect of basically income for life guarantees.
Yes.
Without having to give up your assets. So you can still pass money on to heirs, you can still change your mind, you have majority access, as we like to say.
Or majority control.
Majority control.
Right.
So the aspect of the hybrid annuity is actually very popular for those specific reasons right now. So
right.
Now, the other thing I see right now, especially in today's economy, is when you look at where rates are as far as what's being paid on the growth side, not extremely attractive.
It's not very good.
No.
It kind of goes back to the bank CD rates and savings rates and money markets are all affected typically by the 10-year Treasury, and we have that same effect on the annuities. If we said they're paying double what the banks pay, it's still not very much.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe
2 times nothing, still nothing.
Exactly. So you might be looking at in the 2 to 3% range, maybe on the fixed annuity or even the fixed indexed annuity. And yet, on a recent report, Eric, that we were just talking about, the LIMRA report, it showed that annuities, people purchasing annuities, those sales are down pretty dramatically, except for the fixed indexed, which is what we consider the hybrid.
Which is the base of the hybrid.
Exactly. And let's just say that for the sake of conversation, folks, that in today's annuity world, the mainstream hybrid annuity is considered the fixed indexed annuity with one of the newer income riders on it. So just for the sake of clarification, when you're speaking with people, you really have to clarify terms, and 90% of what's talked about on the internet and what's talked about advisor to client and advisor to advisor is a hybrid annuity, is a fixed annuity with a newer innovative type income rider on it.
That's right. So the income rider, and those are the pieces right now that are for the upcoming retirees, basically, or near retirees, as I like to think of them. That's what makes it really attractive, because those companies are still providing some of those guarantees in deferral for the growth component on
Right.
those hybrid annuities. And that's
Right.
the other aspect of that income rider.
Right.
Usually it's, I'm going to guarantee a certain percentage of growth and deferral. And right now we've got in the range of 4, 5, 6, 7% still available in that deferred growth. So
Right.
for somebody who's thinking about retiring in the next 5 to 7 years, if you're uncomfortable with what you think is going to happen in the market necessarily, and you want that guarantee, it's guaranteed and predictable. And those are two
Right,
aspects
right,
that give
right.
near retirees comfort.
Well, and this is where, when we go back and we compare it to the variable annuity, and we say, well, sales are down in variable annuities, and yet they're up in indexed annuities, and there's not as much potential on an indexed annuity for growth. People aren't interested today so much in potential and growth as they are in guarantees.
Safety and guarantees.
Safety and guarantee of principal.
Yeah.
And I also say there's one more factor that makes these so popular, and that is cash flow. Because we spend our life, our careers, building our money up and saving, and we look at growth, and so we're accumulating that money. But what are we accumulating it for?
To spend it.
We need to spend it effectively and efficiently. And that's what the hybrid annuity does, is it allows you to know what type of cash flow you're going to have throughout your retirement, and to ladder it, stage it, cover some inflation hedge aspects. And so I believe that's what's driving the popularity
Yes.
of this hybrid annuity.
I would agree. Yeah, and I would say 90% of the questions I get about annuities are about hybrid annuities.
Right.
And so that guarantee, and when I talk to people, I say, the best thing about a hybrid, you can work backwards. Tell me what income you want and when you want it,
Right.
and I can use a hybrid annuity
And we'll tell you the least amount of money you have to
Exactly.
put in
to get there.
to get there.
And that's
Right.
and people are like, yes, that's what I want. I want that predictability,
Right.
reliability, and guarantees, those
Right.
contractual guarantees.
Right. So, folks, we hope that this has cleared up some of your concerns and potential misconceptions, or confirmed the things that you already know about a hybrid annuity. It's very much a part of the financial planning community today, and
Yep.
what's being used and what's effective, and anything that we can do to give you more clarity and maybe some direction on these hybrid annuities, we'll be glad to do it.
Yeah, and hopefully we explained why they're so popular right now.
Yes.
Thanks for tuning us in.
Thank you.